You know, when you flip on a match today and watch the incredibly fast, fluid, high-pressing football that totally dominates the modern game, it's pretty easy to assume it was just invented yesterday by modern tacticians. But actually, the blueprint for the football we watch every weekend was pioneered decades ago by two legendary, though sometimes under-heralded midfielders. So, in this explainer, we are going to break down exactly how the modern engine room of football was built.
But to really appreciate the game today and to understand the true origins of the modern box-to-box midfielder, we first have to step back and ask ourselves, who were the real architects that completely broke the mold? Like, who were the players that looked at the super rigid formations of their time and just decided to play the game in a completely revolutionary way? Because think back to the 1960s. The standard was these hyper-defensive, incredibly rigid man-marking systems. Think of Italy's famous Catenaccio style, right? Where defenders were assigned a single opponent and attackers stayed strictly in their own designated zones. I mean, it was highly organized, sure, but extremely static. Now compare that to the fluid, totally positionless attacking football we see from teams like Manchester City today, where high pressing, the gegenpress, and constant motion just dictate the whole game. To get from that rigid 60s style to the beautiful modern game we have now, someone had to act as the bridge.
Section 1. Bobby Murdoch, the catalyst.
Now, interestingly enough, Bobby Murdoch actually started out as an inside right forward, but it was the legendary manager Jock Stein who saw his true potential and moved him back to a right half position. And that move, it completely changed the trajectory of European football. Stein famously said, when Bobby Murdoch played, Celtic played. And his teammate Bertie Auld totally echoed this, pointing out the incredible Batman and Robin dynamic they shared in the midfield. Murdoch was just this vital, tireless engine that did the heavy lifting, provided the vision, and allowed attacking stars like Jimmy Johnstone and Auld to truly shine. He was literally the complete player.
And get this, Murdoch didn't just defend, he possessed an unprecedented attacking threat, racking up a staggering 102 career goals for Celtic. 102! This completely proves that his move to a deeper midfield position didn't suppress his attacking instincts at all. It actually unlocked them. He just constantly arrived late in the box to smash home cutbacks, proving once and for all that a midfielder could be both a defensive anchor and a lethal goal scorer.
All that relentless energy translated into a massive haul of silverware. We're talking 8 league titles, 4 Scottish Cups, 5 League Cups, and of course the ultimate prize, the European Cup. Murdoch's devastatingly accurate long passes transformed Celtic into absolute juggernauts of the era. He wasn't just out there playing well, his unique style was directly driving historic, unmatched success on the pitch.
Section 2. Neeskens, Total Football's Engine.
So let's jump to the 1970s and look at our second architect. Nicknamed Johan II de Cruyff's Johan I, and affectionately known as El Toro, Johan Neeskens basically took Murdoch's blueprint and strapped a rocket to it. To really get Neeskens, we have to talk about the system he played in, total football or total voetbal. It's essentially the system of organized chaos where players constantly swap positions. It requires incredible spatial awareness and super aggressive pressing to win the ball back instantly. And Neeskens, he was the absolute linchpin of the whole thing. His brilliant, bone-crunching tackling and endless running did all the dirty work that created the perfect circumstances for Johan Cruyff's genius to just flourish. And if you map Neeskens' 1974 box-to-box destroyer role to today, it aligns perfectly with the modern superstars you watch every weekend. Guys like Jude Bellingham or Declan Rice. He was executing relentless ball winning in the middle third, and then immediately transitioning defense into attack with these massive vertical drives. Neeskens was doing all of this half a century ago. It's wild.
Section 3. 2 defining world finals.
Right, so it's one thing to have a great tactical theory, but you really have to prove it when it matters most. For Bobby Murdoch, his ultimate test was the 1967 European Cup final in Lisbon. Celtic was up against Inter Milan, who were the absolute masters of that ultra-defensive Catenaccio style we talked about earlier. And in this beautiful victory of attacking intent over defensive rigidity, it was actually Murdoch who made a late, explosive burst down the side. He delivered this powerful shot-come-cross that Stevie Chalmers diverted into the net for the winning 2-1 goal. Murdoch literally broke the defensive mold to crown Celtic the kings of Europe.
Neeskens, meanwhile, had to survive an absolute gauntlet in the 1974 World Cup. First, a 2-0 masterclass against Uruguay. Then, a super tense win over East Germany. And then, a brutal, symbolic 2-0 dethroning of the reigning champions Brazil, a game where Neeskens himself actually fired in a stunning volley. This entire run was just a masterclass, a showcase of total football at its absolute peak.
leading right up to a fateful final in Munich against the hosts, West Germany.
But the Munich final is a story of profound heartbreak. In the very first minute of the game, the Dutch strung together 16 consecutive passes without a single German player even touching the ball, and it resulted in a penalty. Neeskens stepped right up and smashed it down the middle to make it 1-0. I mean, they were on the verge of total immortality. But, tragically, West Germany fought back to win 2-1. As history often remembers it, though, the Dutch kind of won the future of football by sharing their beautiful system with the whole world, even though they sadly lost the trophy that day.
Section 4. The box-to-box legacy. Because these guys, they weren't just players, they were pioneers who permanently altered the trajectory of how football is played and understood today. Murdoch and the Lisbon Lions didn't just win a trophy back in 1967, they became a historic cultural phenomenon that deeply resonated far beyond the football pitch. They proved that a group of local lads playing pure, inventive football could conquer all of Europe.
To put that into perspective, half a century after that incredible night in Lisbon, their triumph was officially debated and celebrated by government lawmakers in the Scottish Parliament. Think about that for a second. That is a legacy that completely transcends sport. It's literally woven into the very fabric of their country's history.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, knowing what we know now about how Bobby Murdoch and Johan Neeskens built the absolute blueprint for the high-energy, all-action role we see today, I want to leave you with one final thought. Looking at the modern era, who do you think is the ultimate box-to-box midfielder playing today? Keep their legacy in mind the next time you watch a game, because I promise you, you'll see their fingerprints all over the pitch. Let us know your pick.